One thing I will never understand is women fighting for the right to sit under fluorescent lights for 8 hours a day to type on an Excel sheet for a $10,000 maybe raise at the end of the year. Yeah. And now you're making maybe six figures. Okay, you're a lawyer, you make a little bit more. To me, that's very just draining and sad of like, how would you not want to do that? And honestly, almost every mother that I've talked to that did work in the corporate world before has said, my life got infinitely better the moment I had children, the moment that I got married. And like, you know, if I could be a stay-at-home mom, like I would, or I am a stay-at-home mom and I could never go back. And biologically, women's hormones change as soon as you get married and when you have kids. Like, that is a real thing, and women are rejecting what they're designed to do.
Women swapped love, family, and real purpose for fluorescent lights, office politics, and corporate scraps. Society sold them the lie that climbing the career ladder equals empowerment. But deep down, most know that marriage and motherhood offer far more fulfillment than any paycheck ever will.
We're talking about the change that happened with women's lib, right? Basically, the modern feminist stuff, which says we're going to break up the family, we're going to easier divorce, women can go hook up, do whatever you want. And the thing that's weird about this is if you look at all the studies on all happiness surveys, which again, take it with a grain of salt, since that all went into effect, the hookup culture and abortion and feminism and all the rest, women have become less happy. Everybody's become less happy, but women have become especially less happy, even relative to men. So wouldn't you have to look at that, at the last 70 years of feminism, and say,
how would
it
you
just
know
didn't
women
work.
are becoming less happy? Aren't men more likely to do suicide now than women? Like, aren't men mental health is more higher in men? So how are women becoming less happy?
Everybody is getting less happy, but if you measure happiness, which again is a very difficult thing to do, but you just take people's measures of happiness, both men and women have declined, but women have declined
since
at
when?
a faster rate since the 70s.
Because we live on the internet.
Sooner or later, women following this path will hit the same depression and start spiraling. Feminism promised freedom, excitement, and fulfillment, but delivered empty apartments, antidepressants, and dating apps full of men they can't respect. Decades in, women are unhappier than ever. Men are checking out completely, and so-called liberation looks like total emotional collapse. The experiment blew up in their faces.
If you could eliminate one thing from the world, what would you eliminate?
Narcissists.
Toxic feminism.
Love how he said toxic feminism instead of feminism, because toxic feminists destroy the whole purpose of feminism.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
And don't forget, men spent millennia fighting wars while women never did. Every word here is fact. Women bought this lie like it was gospel. They traded family, stability, and true fulfillment for cubicles, burnout, and taxes. Feminism promised freedom, but handed loneliness and declining birth rates. Men were demonized, women drained, and society is left cleaning up the mess.
Everything is a scam. The financial system, feminism, the war on masculinity. They want people to be stuck inside of the matrix, and it's sometimes too painful to even wake up to these realities. I know women, for example, who are 50, 60 years old and have never had any children, never been married. Why? Because society told them that building their career was gonna make them happy. This is actually one of the biggest crimes against humanity, because they never reproduced, because they just dedicated their lives to their career, and it's the saddest thing. Feminism is really one of the greatest crimes against humanity.
Exactly. This is one of the cruelest lies ever told. Women were promised careers as the ultimate reward, only to wake decades later with no family, no legacy, and nothing but dusty work trophies. Feminism didn't empower them. It stole their most meaningful years. Society desperately needs more women to recognize this and speak up for what truly matters.
It's very interesting. Women don't feel like they need men in a physical sense because life is soft. But it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because you still need men by proxy, one. And two, the second life gets difficult, you very quickly learn how much you need men. But women will go, I'm independent, I don't need no man because I have an OnlyFans and men pay my OnlyFans, and if anyone comes up to me, I'll call a male police officer. I don't need men. Shut up, you fucking idiot. Of course you do. You just named your whole life is based on fucking men. And the second anything bad were to happen to you, the second you were physically threatened, or times were to get hard, or war were to start, or famine, or riots, the first thing you do is find a big strong man, shit yourself, and throw the feminism out the window.
Modern feminism runs on this illusion of independence that crumbles the second reality shows up. The women shouting, "I don't need a man," are the same ones leaning on male-built systems, male protection, and male effort every single day. When challenges hit, they rush to the very men they swore they didn't need.
The feminist movement was fighting for equal opportunity for women in education and the workforce. The sexual revolution was fighting for all sorts of sexual freedoms. Cosmo, we pretended that this sexual revolution was a freedom for women. It actually was not. It was actually kind of a slavery, but we pretended it was freedom for women. And over time, as the sexual revolution and the women's movement got identified closer and closer together, a lot of women began to buy into that illusion.
It came, it succeeded, it destroyed. The way the government conned women to work for equal rights so they can get double the tax.
Modern feminism is stupid, and here's why. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, Gloria Steinman, these brave women fought for equal opportunity and freedom. Feminism 1.0 was all about making sure that everyone had the same chances to do things, no matter if they were a woman or a man, and that is great. Women should be free to do whatever they want. But today, things are getting a little bit weird. Feminism isn't just about equal chances anymore. Women are not free anymore. Modern feminists are trying to tell everyone there's only one way to be a woman. You can't decide to be a housewife anymore without getting criticized. The same people who fought for your freedom don't give you the freedom to choose what you want.
Modern feminism morphed from "women can do anything" into "follow our rules or you're a traitor." It's not freedom anymore. It's coercion in lipstick. They don't seek equality. They crave control. Pick a life they reject: marriage, kids, traditional femininity, and suddenly you're an outcast in their eyes. Thanks for watching Alpha Male. Show us your love and support by liking, commenting, and sharing it with your friends. If you can financially support this channel, consider becoming a member. I'll see you tomorrow.